So we finished the finale, which was pretty epic and only ended up with one person ending up on the wrong side of the hole in reality. So that went surprisingly well, considering some of the possible implications of certain actions people could have taken. Because there was a lot going on. But we all made it through in one piece.
Charlie either reabsorbed parts of himself or committed several murders. Good on Charlie.
It's a little diabawoo among friends.
He just killed off any pieces of the in-between that were not interested or willing to become more human than just greed. So it's fine. You have a slightly more tangible Shadow Man. Kat is on her way. You have an unconscious but alive Bart who is just kind of saying ow in the background and grumbling half-heartedly. He's not had a good time.
Don't get possessed, man.
It wasn't his fault.
That's victim blaming, and you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I apologize. I'm putting myself in the corner.
Do y'all stay in the theater, or do we go somewhere else?
I feel like Cole should probably contact his nurse friend so we can get Bart to someone to check him out.
Hess would also like that, because Hess is very ow and is kind of semi-catatonic, waiting for Kat to get there.
Maybe we should all go to the hospital.
Probably a good idea.
What is this logic you're speaking?
Yeah.
Pretty sure I'm the only one with wheels at this point.
Actually,
I mean, I can fly. Are we hiding who we are? Is that what we're doing? Because I can just fly.
I want to show off that my boyfriend can fly. Hello, everyone. We're not living in the shadows anymore. I've got a flying boyfriend. Deal with it.
You know what? Love that for you. Love that for you both.
Have you seen them? They can fly now.
I have.
And see, they used to be the very hot demon man, and now they are the equally but differently hot angel man. And,
Babe, I can always fly. I just haven't done that around you all that much.
well, you've been holding out on me.
A little bit.
I'm afraid that's something that we're going to have to discuss later.
a lot of things to talk about. I'll say, at some point while you are all trying to gather yourself, Lily actually shows up, because it would make sense that she knows something went down in the theater, considering Cole was live streaming it to his friends, and at least one of his friends was actively in the hospital.
World star.
It works.
That makes total sense.
So, Lily and some of her friends show up to help tend to injuries and help with Bart, who is not fully conscious, but he is... You can tell he's back to the way he should be. It will take some time for the people who had their souls removed to get fully back to health, because that's not good for anybody, and some of them went a pretty long time, but eventually they will be okay with the help of Lily and other people who know about things and know how to keep their mouths shut about things.
Smart. I will say, Hess doesn't stop anyone from, like, wrapping them up in bandages. She's probably still leaning on Kyle, like, she's coming? Just still very stunned that Kat is alive.
Oh, I was looking forward to doing that moment for so long.
They can't see it, but
So
there's
long.
a symbol of friendship being offered.
And I think Millie has probably, like, just instructed Charlie to, like, hug the real shadows and stay as much out of the way as possible until we can figure out what's going on a little better.
Yeah, maybe you can go hang out in prop storage.
Yeah. Anywhere backstage, an extra shadow won't be unusual.
Kyle actually wants to make friends with Charlie, just for fun.
Seems fair.
Yeah. But, I don't know.
Charlie is friendly, and he just starts asking you questions about, are you an angel? Like, why? Have you always had wings? Has this always been what you look like? And where are you from? And He's just friendly and curious.
Kyle is gonna have like a sit down moment with Charlie, and it's just gonna explain everything, and it's gonna be fun. There's gonna be PowerPoints and like this is what happened and all of this and all of that. It's gonna be great.
That might take longer than y'all are going to be staying in the theater just in...
Charlie should not be talking to Kyle in regards to how to live life on Earth now. Just a warning for anybody, just probably not the best person.
He shouldn't be hanging with Millie either.
Hess just semi-aware it's half at the points when Kyle starts to say something, just hand plop.
Now, sometimes you might find yourself on a dead in front of a dead body that you have caused. The best thing to take care of that.
And just hand goes over mouth.
Yeah, I don't think Millie's ever been especially maternal or like prone to being an educator, but now having a literal second shadow, she's probably going to try and be a little bit more aware of teaching.
More aware of being a good example.
Well,
an example.
As good as any of us can be.
An example.
Yeah.
Over the next couple of days, there are going to be a lot of changes that happen in the Gridge. Just with the ramifications of things that happen. The fact that John Staton now has none of his blackmail material to lord over people. It doesn't take long for the people who were kind of getting ready to unseat the old men to do so. Especially with the help of the moms and the massive amount of blackmail material that Angel left at their house. That she stole from Staton's safe. Because they gotta do something with that. She gathered a lot of really useful information. But also, she's gone.
Thanks. I didn't need that survivor's guilt today, nope.
Temporarily. She might be back.
She is somewhere.
I was gone for a long time and now I'm back. It happens.
There's a lot of somewheres out there. Charlie showed them to me. Maybe she'll find another somewhere to help out.
And it's not like I can't.
Well, worst comes to worst, we do have a box that can find people, regardless of where they are now. Well, can't even pull them back. So, it's a place to start, if nothing else.
Those were disembodied souls, but potentially...
No, because Kat wasn't a disembodied soul, and Hess was able to find her.
Yeah, but the ones you were able to bring back were the disembodied souls. We don't know if they can be used to bring lost people back.
I'm not a disembodied soul.
Sure, but...
They didn't actually fully end up using it for you. Roma came in at just the right moment and be like, hey, I know that story.
I'm a disensouled body.
I'm just saying, we can make it work. We'll figure out a way. Tweak a little.
Sure.
I'm sure Charlie will help. He has a lot of shadow powers. We'll figure it.
He just shrugs, still holding.
Why does the child have a knife?
Oh, I gave it to him.
Please don't call him a child. I think I was on a date with him a little while ago.
He did bring Krispy Kremes.
Okay, why does the newly formed entity have a knife?
Because I gave it to him. It's a symbol of his devotion to his dedication, in fact, to becoming more human, to participating in the project, to being better than the thing that he is.
Plus, it's fucking cool.
Okay.
Well, it's a very old knife, the guy who made it. Not much of a craftsman.
Hess just sighs and lets herself fall back on the stage, like, nope, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
Mostly white hair now with only streaks of blue. And one single, red ombre orange streak.
You got real stressed out, didn't you?
It's fine. Wasn't popping that corruption track like candy. What you talking about?
How close did you get to becoming an NPC?
Very.
Good.
Awesome.
Go big or go home.
Millie, now, what is your epilogue? After things finally settle down in Oak Ridge, the old men aren't in power anymore. I will say, the 3 who didn't suck, 2 who specifically didn't suck, 1 who was just kind of a decent person, they stay on in sort of an advisory role.
Fair enough.
Providing advice, somewhat, just like they offer.
Somebody has to be around to fill out forms.
They've been around for a long time and do know quite a bit about magic.
And bureaucracy.
Yeah, so Millie, what do you do?
Well, first of all, I think Millie and Charlie hang out a bunch. She basically takes him under her wing as a whole second shadow, like literal second shadow. And I think it's been really good for her, just because she tends not to think before she acts. And having someone around who's always asking why is a really good thing for her personally. And sometimes it does feel a little bit like being followed around by a toddler asking how things work and why things work. And sometimes she's not a very good role model.
But occasionally asking a weirdly deeply philosophical question that just leaves you sitting there for a couple of seconds processing what he just said.
Yeah, and on the tail of that, I think she started up therapy. Because a lot of her worldviews were very altered over the course of this, and she realized that she had very much been casting herself in her own life in the role of an ingenue, which means a lot of waiting for other people to determine what your life is about and what's going to happen to you and what your story is going to be. And she's ready to kind of step outside of that and make something of herself and make something for her own. And it sort of started even with her last big breakup / murder attempt / evading arrest. Nonetheless, with a better support system than she's ever had before, it's time to grow as a person. And so I think she's making strides in that direction, leaning more into work at the theater and a little bit less into trying to find her next horrible date mistake. And I think oddly feeling the most fulfilled and least lonely she's ever been because of it.
Yeah. And I'll say, because I remember Hess at one point, you had made a deal with the one you called Lurker to help it find a form. Does Hess try and help make Charlie a form so they can look more human?
I would say probably after discussing it with Millie, like, look, so when I was making stupid decisions, I made a stupid decision and said I would help Lurker get a form. And technically Charlie is part of Lurker, so if you're both comfortable with it, I can try and do some magic-y, wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey bullshit and try and make him a form.
I mean, I don't know why I would need to be comfortable with it. That seems like very between you two.
They're attached to... They? Him?
Look, unless you're trying to, duplicate me and do, a whole clone thing, and then I have a whole new set of moral issues to grapple with, it's not a problem for me.
Fair. Right, so, Charlie? Do you want a body? Or are you comfortable with...
I got a really creepy mannequin in storage, too.
I can also get you a body.
Not like that. Bestie,
We're talking
but
about
I love
body.
you. Bestie, I love the enthusiasm, but not that body.
Okay, just making sure.
I think Winwood's down the hole calling for you.
Okay.
Actually, wait, Kyle, come back. We might actually need that for the magic.
The body?
I mean, you can't make something out of nothing.
Alright. Give me a moment. I'm going to go look for one.
Wait, we can definitely call Cole for this, because he definitely brings me people to eat. So, let me eat first and then waste not.
I mean, I won't drain it. It'll just be sort of dead-ish.
No, I like my food fresh, thanks.
Do you want me to
Okay.
just make them slightly unconscious?
Why don't I put you in touch with Cole? And Cole
Okay.
and Kyle can figure that whole thing out.
So you want a warm body.
Yeah. No, a real living person. but Cole has a really good line on like the correct sort of people for me to be eating, because
Right.
I outsource my morality, as it turns out, and that's just the best for everybody.
Cool.
I feel like Windward is actually face palming just on the other side of the theater. Doesn't know what's going on, just has a feeling.
I think my morality is still growing, so I think I'm allowed to have a couple of mistakes. So let's do that.
At this point, you probably still have like a printed out menu that Cole thought was hilarious that has like embezzler for $6, abusive nanny for 12. Like he's got lines just ready.
Stalker and then French onion soup.
Yeah, exactly. In case you're just feeling a little frisky, a little French onion.
I mean, I think at that point I will hand the menu to Kyle and just be like, you two need to discuss this ranking system that you've come up with, because I feel like that's very educational in a way that I won't benefit from, but Kyle will.
This is perfect. Thank you. Because now, at least my murders have a little bit more
Flavor.
precision.
It's Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
It's more justice and less.
Yeah, unless
just,
I just woke up
sleep
in
murder.
front of a dead body. I'm hopeful that they deserved it, but
And if they could be not dead when you bring them around, that would be great for me personally.
perfect.
Hess is just like, dear God, what have I done?
Windward, how are you reacting to this whole conversation?
I go to Wardy and say, honey, I have new work. Guess what?
Yes? What do you... Oh, excellent. What sort of work are you getting into?
Providing bodies.
It's just delivery service. Don't worry about it.
Yes. Delivery service. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I need another
I thought
job after
into, like
George.
a magic homunculus kind of situation, but okay.
Well, that's what I was planning with the actual, and then it turned into this.
Yes, I think... Not that I was eavesdropping on the conversations, but I do feel like some sort of construct or homunculus might be an excellent place to start. And furthermore, counterpoint, suppose you were to come and work at the junk drawer full-time, and...
If Kyle's there full-time, you're not getting anything done.
if you really must concern yourself with bodies, Windward gestures to themselves. I believe if you have spare concern for bodies, and you're looking for them, I've got one that you can look at, so that you're not, committing too many murders.
Hess is just watching this and taking notes on the master class.
Cass had wandered off, so Cass, you want to walk back in on them talking about Kyle going and finding and bringing a mostly live body to Millie for her to eat, and then have Charlie possess.
I mean, I don't want Millie to eat you, Artie. Or possess you.
You see, she's got her own arrangements, and...
Right, we were just discussing about how my menu correlates with, the morality of murders, and...
Sure. Again... Yes, that was more of an entendre on our part. Again, I do nominally trust you to manage your own affairs. Kyle is a little bit more of a pressing personal concern of mine, and so I was attempting to distract his murderous impulses with sex. It seems to not have been
And
working.
at this point, you'll
which is-
turn around and Hess has the homunculus pretty much made.
Because with Cole just waving goodbye.
Oh, that...
Right, I was going to... We have a...
Okay.
Yes?
Well, then yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yes,
I can totally focus
yes.
on that. Yeah. Should we
Yeah.
go
Oh, excellent.
now?
Wonderful.
Now? Do you guys still need us? Is there...
Well, I mean, you could fly.
It's true, I could fly. We could fly.
Could fly.
Y'all want to
We
go
could
get
fly.
pizza?
We could fly on the way.
We could fly on the way to getting pizza.
Kyle, can you carry everyone?
No.
I'm just getting wordy. This is a...
They're having a an air party on the way to pizza.
Yeah, I would
The
recommend
Mile High
having
Club.
I would recommend having an umbrella walking around just in case.
Jesus.
Well, this is going
Tess
Tess
exceptionally
hears
well.
that and jerks the chalk that she's using to draw one of the circles and curses, scrubs it out and goes back.
Fast forward to someone walking around the street looking up. Goddamn bird.
Horrible.
We will see you all later.
Yeah, we'll see you at pizza in like half an hour or so. Have fun.
45 minutes?
2 hours.
Half an hour?
45 minutes.
Yeah, you can
An
be
hour.
late, whatever. It's stylish.
Let's call it 45 minutes and we'll be fashionably late.
Okay,
Kyle,
bye!
let's go.
And the camera does not follow.
Like, we just run off and there just happens to be a fireplace there.
In
It's
the
just,
air.
It's fine.
As they're like sneaking out the back door, they sneak through the prop storage and there's a fireplace prop.
Great. Wonderful.
Yeah, Hess does the magic-y thing and makes a specified to Charlie's liking body.
Or, something that can be adjusted as necessary as Charlie figures out being a person.
Sure.
Charlie's very excited about that.
Probably raids prop storage and just or costume storage and just plops a mountain of clothes. Have at it.
Oh, what a sartorial nightmare he would be.
I am now picturing there's a whole montage of finding clothes that he likes and just part of becoming a person.
Yes.
Millie's fashionista screaming.
Oh, Millie would have several field days about it, and definitely would tap Windward to help.
We can find some good looks. Rule with trans people is they're not accountable for their fashion decisions for the first 2 years. This person has to learn how to be a person, as opposed to also, and in addition to also expressing gender. But I think we've got some good guidance. I think he'll do just fine. But
He's got
it's gonna
like a
be
free pass for at least 5 years, right?
at least 5 years going to be making a few of the most heinous decisions you've ever seen. I would probably check him before he leaves the house.
And I do look forward to every bad decision.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you can always just leave him out there to suffer. A good way to pick up social cues. When you see him walking along and you see these people that are looking at you, they're, laughing at you.
The good news is, by default, he's gonna grow up as a theater kid.
Cass just waves at Cass as they're flying in the theater. Hi, scrubbing the chalk circle.
So anyone want to tell me why those two were being gross in the back room?
Well, when two people love each other very much.
Stop.
Something to do with stopping murders from happening? I'm a little foggy on the details, but...
They've been together pretty much since
You know
they
what?
met.
I don't care that much. Just, nope.
Solid.
You also see the shadowy being that is Charlie now seems to have a physical form and is trying on different things from a pile of costumes.
That's a choice, but it's not possibly worse than what I'm stuck with for eternity. So, you know.
Hess just shrugs, like, I can't fix it. I've looked, I've tried, I can't fix it.
I didn't even get to keep my jacket. Cool. It's cool. Totally okay with all of this.
I have a wardrobe department you can raid.
Half the time, Mill, I am completely intangible.
Well, the other half the time, there's a wardrobe department you could raid. Bright side of life, I don't know.
Disembodied clothes, you can't see me, but you can hear me and I can feel me.
Imagine all the people you could prank
Oh no.
and troll.
You know, no one's going to notice if you put, like, an eraser on the door, or a bucket of glitter, or some water. The possibilities are endless, you realize.
And you can still act.
You'll make a killing during Halloween.
Anytime the theater needs a ghost.
Okay, I'm going to address these things in order. The acting thing, sure. As long as none of my co-stars touch me and I don't have to change costumes. Or else I don't speak. Those are my options for acting. Theater needs a ghost. Great. Here I am. Hanging around. Forever. Is there another thing? I don't remember. I got really upset in the middle there. So.
I was saying you could prank a lot of people, but I think we're just going to move that past that. We're just going to let you express your anger and go get pizza.
Cool. Wish I could join you. That'd be fun.
You're not bound to the place where you died.
No, but I'm a ghost! I can't eat!
You can still hang out with us.
You don't know that they don't have ghost pizza. It's Big Ed's. They have something for everyone.
It's just there's a little ghost oven off to the side with all the burnt pies that were.
It could have been.
They were able to just create a body out of nothing for Charlie. Surely, if they put their heads together, something could be figured out. Also, I feel like historically ghosts can possess things, right? Is that a thing? Again, I do have a very good creepy mannequin. And many small dolls.
Let me do some research. We'll see if we can't do something a little more. We'll hold on to that. Good idea. We'll circle back.
I do really want just a small haunted doll, and I think that would be a great thing, personally, for me. Even if it's only a temporary measure until we get you something more permanent, I'm sure there are some horrible, scary Victorian China dolls in the back if you want to just hop in one and then you can come get pizza in the scariest form possible.
Can I possess things? I think that's a corruption, and I don't have any corruption.
It's the epilogue.
We're just hand waving.
So do you possess the creepiest doll you can find in the prop storage and go to get pizza?
Yeah, for now.
Amazing.
Also, Hess, are you going to get pizza or are you going to go talk to Kat? Because you know she's on her way.
I thought, oh, this is like, okay, so I thought this was in the future. Got it, okay.
This isn't an ambiguous question mark time, but the conversations made it feel like the fight just ended, so...
Okay, cool. So, I think Hess will kind of look at everybody. I will meet you there. Kat is on her way, and I think it would be nice to bring her to meet you all, since you all helped get her back.
I think Millie's going to hand Hess her keys and just be like, alright, well, if things get heated, use my rooms because there are children who live here, and please lock up when you're done.
Hess blushes and takes off the necklace with the ring. I was thinking more that, less
well, you never know.
Kylan Windward.
Well, she's been gone a while. Just follow your heart and vibes.
Wouldn't be the first time in this episode.
Follow your best friend's lead is what I'm hearing here.
Just a disembodied voice in the wind.
Cole, do you feel up to driving a vampire, a small haunted doll, and a formerly shadow man to go get some pizza?
I'm pretty sure he's okay with that. Yeah.
Excellent.
It's been a weird day. Lily probably would join you, but she is accompanying Bart back to the hospital.
Seems solid.
Because everyone will be eventually okay, but right now they're not great.
Yeah, Hess is probably like stealing one of the coats out of the pile to cover up the numerous bandages and just trying to make themselves look less smeared in battle stuff.
That's what Kyle and Windward are going to show up to the pizza place in. Smeared in battle stuff.
Whenever they eventually show up.
You get smacked by a tiny haunted doll.
Did that thing just move?
This is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
No, Cole, it was completely your imagination. You definitely didn't have this conversation right in front of you.
He was busy texting people at his network.
Oh no, he knows. He wants to pretend like he doesn't understand.
It's for the bit.
Really live the on a doll fantasy for Millie.
The best day of my
Aw.
life.
So, Kat does show up a few minutes after your friends leave, and she looks just like the last time you saw her. She immediately runs up and almost tackles, hugs you.
Yeah, no. Hess catches her, and nearly falls over because ow, ribs, ow, 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 but tries not to say ow, but just clings as tight as they can. So Hess is trying not to cringe, because ow, pain, but also hi, and just probably sobbing in happiness, and it's a lot of emotion, just hug tight and sobs.
Yeah. Just, you're getting a lot of, it's okay, I'm here, it's okay.
Probably eventually pulls away and just cups her face in her hands and just smiles, and you're actually here. You're here.
Yeah, I am, and you're here. Oh, God, I miss you.
Yeah. And just goofy smile. The hair is obviously disheveled and mostly white with that blue and the streaks, and just smiles. I had so much to tell you that night, and then everything happened, and so much has happened since, and you're here, and just full on kiss because hi, I haven't done that yet, and I missed you.
Yeah, it's been a while, so it's nice.
Eventually realizes they're still holding the ring necklace in their hand and kind of holds it up. I had a plan that night.
I know I saw just before.
Yeah. She probably, and she tries to go down on one knee and is like, okay, maybe don't.
Just yes. The answer is yes. Come on.
Slips it on, big ol' kiss and smiles and chuckles. I should take you to meet everybody who helped call you back.
Yeah, that sounds great. And then we can go home, because I don't know about you, but I could use a really long nap. And we have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, we do. We really do. And without thinking, because this whole entire time she's just been fine, nothing has happened, the cat ears pop up on the top of her head and start twitching.
Okay, that's just adorable.
What? Oh, God, I thought that was gone.
Nah, I think you're gonna be stuck with that for a while. And she does a little like scritch behind the ears. Like, come on, let's go meet everybody. Let's get some food, and then we can talk.
Yeah. And so she starts to lead them out the back because that's where her car's parked. Actually, no, never mind. We're gonna go around the back that way. Kyle and Winwood are being Kyle and Winwood.
Good call. Actually, wait. She does them individually. I don't know if she knows that they're together.
Oh yeah, and probably went at her computer.
There's just the moment of like, what? Wait.
Yeah.
I didn't know they knew each other. Wow, I've missed a lot.
I'll catch you up in the car. Come on. And just takes her hand and cutesy leads her out.
And it's very cute and very adorable. And when you do get the chance to catch up, she tells you about where she's been. She tells you about this place that's just referred to as nowhere. It doesn't seem to exist in any place or any time. There are other people there that kind of fell out of or got knocked out of one reality or another. They have some awareness of know what's going on, but can't really do anything about it. But a lot of them are working on it. And the people you saw her talking to when you briefly saw her, those were two of the... Well, one of them was a newer arrival. It was a hawk from a different universe. And the other was a girl named Lily. Because of course she's everywhere.
Has to take all those notes down. I'm assuming this is after the pizza place and everything, and
Yeah.
would begrudgingly send them to her mother, because I feel like they're starting to patch things up.
You do have a couple of awkward conversations with your mom, but ultimately, your mom loves you. She worries about you, but after those awkward conversations, everything's all pretty much back to alright, if a little different than it used to be. And speaking of Multae, while Charlie is still relatively close-ish to what he once was, he does go and, spend some time with Multae so they can learn things from him. because he may not be as he once was, but he can still, like, give them information and they can do tests and stuff. They're very respectful about it, but he understands that that could be important. Especially with these people who can communicate across. And then he goes off and does other things, but he does try to help with Multae before he becomes a little bit too much of a real boy for that to actually be helpful. And I remember you saying you wanted to see if you can find a way to bring Angel back.
Yeah, because like we had talked about, Hess and Angel had that moment where Angel transferred their oath to Hess. So Hess has been doing, between helping Multae and keeping Angel's podcast going on top of, trying to just make sure, to keep Angel's mission going of, stopping the bastards and keeping people safe. And
you're trying to do all of that while wedding planning?
You've met Hess. How's this surprising?
Honey, when do you sleep?
I feel it has been a conversation.
Kyle is helping, and by helping, possibly hindering more than helping, but still helping.
Just pointing all these different places you could just straight up elope. Because there's also the fact that you're under investigation with the lab, but since you mentioned that you're helping with the podcast, doing that you have to get in contact with her editor, who is someone named Xander. Do you tell him what happened?
Considering what Angel did in her podcast, I have a feeling her editor would know. So Hess would be like, alright, look, what's the deal. And just whoop, magics the staff into existence. Angel went to another dimension, I'm taking over until we can get her back. Sounds good? Good.
He probably asks some questions, and when you tell the story and explain things, he says thanks, but finding her is my job. We have ways. It's always been my duty to keep an eye on her, and I've not been doing a very great job of it, some politics back home, but I'll find her.
Okay, look, I can jump into different dimensions, so I'm offering to help. It's a joint effort at this point, and I owe it to Angel.
Alright, let's work together, but if we're gonna work effectively, we're gonna have to deal with a little issue you have with the lab investigation.
Oh, that.
He gives no detail on what he does about it, but that goes away.
Hess does not ask. She makes sure Kyle is also scrubbed from the record, but does not ask anything else.
Well, there was also the fact that, it was a bunch of people who weren't supposed to be in the lab, but given that the old men were gotten rid of, and Xander did a thing, because Xander's got connections, it just goes away.
But yeah, no, Hess is probably running around trying to do all this, and it probably, everyone at some point has to tell Hess, when did you sleep? Go to bed. Go to bed. Give me the coffee mug. Go to bed.
It gets to the point where even Laurent's just looking at you like, you need to be asleep. You need to rest.
Winwood, your rabbit is staring at me.
If you don't go to sleep, Kyle is going to take over your bed and you won't like it. You won't like it, is what I'm telling you, Hez. You need to sleep or I will be using that bed.
You also have Kat being like, honey, you need to sleep.
I will cuddle with Kat. You wouldn't like that.
Hess just blinks. Cuddle pile? Question mark.
This was supposed to be a threat, but I think I'm liking it. I would have to call Wardy.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, wow, gracious.
Call me if you need me. Would you like to bring Laurent as well? I know his demeanor can be a little gruff.
He's very soft.
He is very soft. Keeps himself very soft, likes to be scratched behind the ears.
I don't want him to get hurt.
You don't want
Yeah.
Laurent to get hurt?
Hess is very confused how a cuddle pile is going to get the rabbit hurt. It's like starting to already fall asleep on their feet.
I might accidentally kill it. No, not kill. Kick it. Kick it. Kick it. Not kill. I try not to do that anymore.
In either case, the rabbit can hold his own, and Kyle, I think you may have misunderstood the prompt here, but
Just a little bit.
excellent hustle.
No, like,
Please go to sleep.
like,
Yes, this is of course the nature of the problem.
Not the kind of cuddle we have.
No.
The kind of cuddle that S and I have.
No.
Which is, that's what I was saying. I want to cuddle with a cat. Wait.
just
What do
Hess
I
does
want?
the uppies arms. Like, I just want cuddles.
I picture somewhere in the background, Cass is just repeatedly trying to bang her head on the wall and it's not working.
Working. All of you are.
Kyle's like, well, what do I want?
So the camera pans out while y'all figure that out.
I think the funniest thing is while everybody's trying to figure out the logistics, Hess just flops onto the couch and sleeps for like a good 17 hours.
Just goes back to that one spot. I presume we're having this conversation in Trunk Drawer, but like you go back to the spot that we keep going back to, and it legitimately is. It's a couch that is just a little bit taller than you are, and the armrest is at the perfect spot for you to just be able to pass off on it. There's a nice like throw blanket on the back, and like the conversations being had between Kyle and Windward, and you just it's the perfect sleeping couch for you.
Just wonders where Lalarn is, and y'all come find Hess just cuddling Laron and Kaiju just asleep.
That sounds adorable. Also, I feel like y'all did that on purpose, knowing she would fall asleep.
Oh yeah.
Kyle will pretend to claim that, but probably not. Kyle's not smart.
Yeah.
So,
Hess is doing the burnout hustle with her friends being like, no.
yeah. So, Cole, what's your epilogue?
Cole's thinking a little bit more long term. I don't have anything specifically short term that's a goal. But I definitely have plans long term if you'll give me the courtesy of that.
I do picture that short term as there's like shifts going on in the power, you might be kind of like brought into some of those conversations. So you get a seat at the table while those discussions are happening, because best place to have those is neutral territory. And also, all of these people who are going to be the next group of leaders are still here because of you and your group.
But here's the thing with that, though, too, is it's really, I think, important for me at this point to be able to keep an eye on it. And God, there's just no better way to do that than to run for sheriff.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to do that. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to win that vote.
You do.
So I think that's my first goal, is having some kind of position of power that's not necessarily a politician, but my hand is in all the fires, if necessary. I think that the influence of the moms is definitely enough to get some things done around town. And the first thing, after winning that election of sheriff, the first thing that Cole has in mind... Now, the thing about Cole is, you've known he's got tattoos, at least 50-some all across anywhere you can see, and probably some you can't. And has just as many stories to tell about them all, but there's one that he wouldn't tell you the story about, and it is the letters across his knuckles that just say, "Find home." Very briefly, story on that was when he was about 13 years of age, deciding that being an orphan sucks and not really enjoying life, not knowing, where he's from or anything. He did just that, ran out and tried to find his family, but that was pretty quickly stopped abruptly whenever, Roma found him. And after a long conversation, the only words that made sense to him was when she told him to find home, and that it was okay if he wanted to go find his family. He just always had a home back with them. And that stuck with him. And that was that. He never felt the urge to go anywhere else. And, now that all the power in town has shifted and there's potential for good, his first act as a man of power is to try to create a center for everyone else that needs a home, and he creates the Find Home Center. which is a community center for anyone who needs a place. I think in all the hanging out and getting introduced and hanging out with the group, you guys, we definitely probably had at least one Halloween at the theater where we all dressed up in various costuming that is available at the theater and had a photo booth of some sort. But you can guarantee for those that are comfortable with it, in one of the hallways of the Fine Home Center, there is a board of directors with each of your costumed photos up and a plaque. There's definitely a wing, the Angel Day wing, and hoping she comes back, and definitely one for Cass as well.
You do a lot of good there.
I think that all of his music endeavors have stopped, but he has a little music class, which any of you are welcome to attend if you're interested in learning. He can really only play the guitar, but god dang, he'll try his hardest to keep a beat or whatever else you need to figure out your instrument.
If Cole told them about this, Hess would definitely try and find a way to volunteer, like, down the road, this sounds like, and everything, and do, like, reading classes or, puppet shows and use their magic and things like that to kind of make them all very interactive and be there to listen to the kids and, occasional field trips to the safer spots.
You at least get the parents' permission before you pop their kids into another dimension, right?
Yeah!
All of this is really just an extension of what the moms have already established and giving them way to, I guess, thrive with the love and care that they've already given the town, but now using what means I can to expand that. And the only real thing that he really changed about his ride, which he's been working on for this time, that old Galaxy 500, is now just a bumper sticker on the back that says, "It's good to be the king." Oh yeah, and I think he's ready to date now.
Ooh.
Can I be a wingman?
I mean, you can fly.
A literal wingman?
I need someone that can fly, after all.
So I know. What's your preference, Cole? Let's start there first, and then we can work on
have
figuring
plenty
out
of friends and tastes, and everything would whatever you want. I can get it without sounding like a pimp.
Kyle, there was no. Oh God, Kyle.
I just sheepishly look over at Windward at this point.
Oh, that one's mine. I mean, I'm willing to share if they're okay. Do you want to?
Yes, but I would like to hear.
Do I need to give you threesome privacy?
How do you handle...
No, this is fine.
This is, I mean, I'm a little new to this scene, I suppose, but how... You're crazy.
Well, yes, badly. See, the way that we handle it is a lot of clear communication, so statements of preference are welcome. Good setting of boundaries, something that I'm working on with Kyle. Kyle, you really do need to just talk a lot less about delivering people bodies of various sorts.
One, though. Like,
I think Hess at this point is just, if Kyle is sitting down, just leaning over on Kyle, looking at Windward like, "Oh, do go on. Let's hear this."
Well, like, perhaps be a little bit more precise in your language in this case, to be like, well, I would love to introduce you.
Oh, that is a much better way of saying it.
Here we go, Kyle. I would love to introduce you to my very alive friend. That's very precise, isn't it?
One that's capable of going for drinks.
Very alive, not at all.
So, what does Cass do?
What an excellent question.
Do you go hang out with the reality hopping Lily?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Lily is sad to see that you're dead, but is happy to see, like, okay, this world has ghosts. Didn't expect that. I want to try a thing. It might be weird. Do you trust me?
You know what? I quite literally have nothing to lose. So.
Alrighty then. And she grabs your hand, and as she wakes up from her astral projecting, you're there with her, and she's like, I didn't know that would work. Welcome to my reality.
Cool. Now what?
I don't know. I didn't really think further beyond that, but I might be able to take you whenever I pop up into other places. I don't always know where I'm gonna be, but it's always interesting, and you can help me explain things to people that think I'm just a hallucination.
It would have been useful to have beforehand. Sure, let's do that.
Yeah. So, you do go back every so often to hang out with your friends, but every once in a while, Lily's like, hey, we need to go talk to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And
Do you want the pamphlets we made?
grabs them, and they actually go with her. She's on their side. It's like, I'm not questioning this.
So on the pamphlet, it says, "Welcome. You are now part of saving the world in 5 easy steps."
I don't think that should have worked.
Are the last two question mark and profit? Please say yes.
Actually, yes. It is good to know that I could do that. I didn't know I could do that.
Learning new things all the time.
Yeah. Alright, I think that person over there is the one that we're supposed to talk to. And then we fade out on Cass and Lily's extra-planar spiritual adventures. I think we have one last... Technically 2 last epilogues, but they kind of go together because it's Kyle and Windward. Y'all have had a lot happen the past couple of days.
Yeah, you can say that. I'm pretty sure I got a talking to because I never told Wardy that I could fly and that I've been able to fly for a while. I wanted it to be a surprise.
We did establish that the night in the lab was like one of the first times that you did the transformation thingy.
I still should have told Wardy like as soon as I found out. That had like plenty of things, but I was busy.
Making bad life choices.
Always. Making bad life choices.
I suppose you're just going to have to make it up to me. It's not all just that, though.
Lots of catching up to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's... I think also, like... Do you think that they would travel? Windward and Kyle would actually go...
I think, yeah. I think now that Kyle no longer is beholden to George, they feel a little bit more, like, free to go places. And since George did say that, you know... Well, the whole reason why Kyle went and signed that contract with George was because they were afraid that people from his past would find Kyle. That was the whole premise of the thing. But with George, you know, saying that everything, after helping him out, everything is good, I think Kyle would feel a lot more
Taken care of.
I think Kyle will feel a lot more like, hey, let's go places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think they find... Because, you know, Windward has been everywhere. Kyle has lived in a lot of places, lived a lot of lives. And, you know, they go back and they relive some old favorites. And then... I think kind of like for the last week, they managed to find a place where neither of them have ever been.
That would be really hard.
That's actually like a place someone would want to go.
Yeah.
I feel like Kyle and Wardy has been everywhere, and finding a place where both of them have never been to is an interesting thing. And I would like to say it's like this super...
It's Branson, Missouri.
Oh god.
It's this place that just... It's Branson, Missouri.
Branson, Missouri, nobody's heard of it. Very few people have.
I
They
grew
hit
up there.
Dollywood, which isn't, I don't think, in Branson. You grew up in Branson?
Yeah, I was in a theater production for 10 years.
Yeah, like that's the fun thing about Branson is there's a lot of theaters. It's a little bit like Vegas in the Midwest, except much smaller and on a smaller scale, but it's fun. And that's just like they go spend the week listening to. The last time we were there, the big fad was like number adjective tenors. The 3 redneck tenors. It's just like saw 6 of those on billboards, and whatever the current weird fixation du jour is, just different show every night, hanging out in this. I don't know, how would you describe Branson? Like a small city?
Big town of a lot of old people.
Yeah.
You gotta go see the Presley's Country Jubilee, then you gotta go down and eat at Lambert's where they throw the rolls, and then you gotta... I mean, it's just a whole thing. There's a go-kart track on every corner. Oh boy, go to Silver Dollar City.
There's a go-kart track on every corner?
Yeah, there's hundreds of them, I think.
That is why Kyle is going to go. That is the selling point.
You gotta go to Silver Dollar City where the theme park is 1800s.
Wardy has spent this whole time talking about like, oh, all of these theater stuff, and then mentions go-kart once, and Kyle is like, let's go. I'm ready. I'm already packed.
I'm just like, there's a Dollywood in Branson?
It's a Dixie Stampede. It's a indoor rodeo theater.
Gotcha. No, you said Dollywood. My thought was a theme park in Pigeon Forge.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't think there's more than one.
I hate that I gave you the most cliche possible Branson experience.
On the contrary, this is precisely what I was looking for. Thank you for adding in all of that incredible detail. That's functionally the trip that Windward plans. It's such a human... It really is. When we were there when I was there with my family, you go to these shows and it's literally just like busloads of retirees. 5 of them will fill out the theater, and then just like our random family of 8. And that's just like what, go-karting against middle-aged dads and probably losing to their 12-year-old daughters. Several rounds of laser tag. Weird tourist shops, the whole thing, and that's Kyle and Windward's functional honeymoon.
And Kyle is happy.
Right, it's like, it's the one place that neither of them have ever been. And, after lifetimes of joy and war and, they have memories of being... Both Windward has directly been working for demons for several thousands of years, and Kyle has had, well, I guess Jophiel, as the connective soul, has had every possible job that you can think, has done everything, has had many, many very exciting lives from the ancient times until now. And what a simple joy and pleasure to go to just do the most human thing. And I don't think Windward has stopped smiling the entire time.
That's adorable. Also,
I think that would be perfect.
yeah. There is at one point where Kyle will say, it's when you've come back to Oak Ridge. Because it's still a special place to the both of you. You come back to Oak Ridge. Maybe you're just feeling nostalgic because you go to the Magic Walk, which is still there, because of course it is.
Of course it is. It's George's favorite place.
Yeah.
I order the same thing that George always orders.
Yeah, it's better this time.
Okay.
They changed up the recipe, freshened up some of the ingredients, and as you're sitting there eating, George slides into the booth across from you.
George! It has been a very, very long time. How have you been?
That fight took a lot more out of me than I expected, but I've been doing alright. Good to see you've been doing well for yourself.
I've been doing great. If you're looking for your staff, I lost it.
It's not something you can lose, and you can keep it. my arrangement with my boss has changed a bit. Can't really work here after how things went down, which I'm honestly fine with that.
Okay. So I keep the staff. How do I get it back? Because I haven't seen it in like a couple of years now.
You just call it to you.
And I do the Thor thing of like reaching out to call it to see if it'll come to me, like Thor's hammer. And does it come to me at all?
As you curl your fingers like you're going to grab onto something, it appears in your hand.
Oh, that's really cool. Cool! Alright.
You can keep it if you want.
Oh, I will. This is really nice. Thank you.
Comes with some responsibility, namely making sure humanity doesn't wander the world off a cliff. Again, like they've tried. Yeah, that was a mess.
Yeah.
Good job with that.
Yeah. I totally had a lot to do with it. With saving the planet, not almost destroying it. Obviously, that's what I meant.
Yeah, it was a tricky situation.
So how can I help you?
Well, as I said, a little more difficult for me to do business here after how things went down. Also, while I can't really call them mine, the Fae opened the door back, they're still not happy with me. So, it's better if I stay away. Would you be interested in keeping an eye on things here? Keep an eye on my network, making sure, as I said, humanity doesn't wander us off a cliff.
Maybe. Leaning towards yes. But maybe.
Think of it more of a equal level partnership.
I do like that. Instead of like boss and underling. We could be partners.
Yeah, it was the only way I could think of to keep you in town for a while. I didn't know why, but I knew there was something. I definitely didn't expect what happened, though.
Yeah. Plus, this town is special. I can stay here for a little while longer.
It is. Also, my boss likes you. They don't like a lot of people like that, so...
Do I know who his boss is?
When you were reaching out to George, there wasn't a George there, you reached out to something else, you reached out to his boss, which is a spirit of the, like a spirit deep within the mountains. That thing was about as old as the earth.
Oh. We'll tell him I like him too. He sounds like a barrel of laughs.
You know, sometimes you find something worth staying for.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
And kind of fade out on maybe talking more sort of details of the business George lets you in on, a little bit more of things he didn't tell you before. Opens up a little bit more, still doesn't exactly directly address why he's not allowed to go back to the Fae world. I don't know if you press on that, but he has no regrets about it.
Yeah, he seems happy. As long as he's happy. And that I'm no longer an underling, I think I can respect his privacy.
Yeah. And over the years, you do have his people, like, reach out to you, asking for, hey, what to do on this situation, passing you information.
I'm pretty sure I've asked Wardy for help for some of these because, you know, Kyle is not, like I said, Kyle's not the smartest person. Also asked Hesk a little bit for help, that kind of thing.
It doesn't take long before Isabel just starts going straight to Windward.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Has just no, I'm not getting involved, but I'm not getting. It just has that debate of like, comes over and helps.
So like, I'm a mafia boss now, sort of, and I kind of need a little bit of help.
I imagine both Hess and Windward facepalm at the same time.
Because all I know about the mafia is what I've watched on The Godfather, and I don't think shouting, "You come to me on this day, on the day of my daughter's wedding," is a good idea for all meetings.
No, the shouting is really rather not ultimately the best part of it. especially because Don Corleone, you may notice, never raised his voice.
Oh, that's true.
Also, doesn't go terribly well for him. But, so, cool, calm demeanor. Always make people believe that you're more in control than you actually are. Avoid oranges. Avoiding oranges is very important when you're a mafia boss, especially in the mold of The Godfather.
Like wearing oranges or eating orange?
Oh, well, oranges. Oranges like the fruit. Don't eat them. A harbinger of bad things happening for mob bosses.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, well, it's because the set dresser thought that a lot of the darker scenes could use a little bit of a pop, so we would oftentimes put oranges in the scenes, and then something bad would happen shortly afterwards.
I just thought he really liked oranges.
Well, at any rate, find a good therapist, also important for a mobster.
Right.
Makes for an excellent frame when you're telling your story later on, to have a therapist to speak to about it. Snappy suits. Snappy suits are good. Well, better for mob bosses. You really can get away with sort of that schlubby chic, gold chains. Do you want a gold chain? Could wear just a open neck shirt, gold chain.
You do a lot with a chain.
Could do a lot with the chain. This is very true. This is very true. Also fashionable in the mafia mold. You would look rather dashing in a pinstripe suit, though.
Yeah.
Are we planning criminal organizations or date night?
Yes.
Both. Yes.
Okay. Right.
Also, what Kyle's gonna wear to the wedding? Question, is it like a big fancy wedding? Is it something small for Hess and Kat?
I think it is a compromise in the middle, because if we're up to Hess, Hess would have pulled them off to the planet with the Starseed and just eloped there. But because she wants this to be special to Kat, she decided to compromise, and it's a medium-sized wedding with friends and family. And, the few friends that she's made from other places, Hess has poured it in, and it's just a very simple, very basic ceremony. She probably actually would have gone to Windward and looked at him like, okay, you've been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So you've done a lot of things.
Several, yes.
Okay, but one of those be getting an officiant's license? Or because you're an angel, does that just kind of negate the whole...
Oh, well, legally speaking, I would in fact need a license. Unfortunately, the ship that I was the captain of blew up. Horrible disaster at sea, so I'm not able to marry you as an official ship's captain, but no, I could get my license renewed. It's about 100 years out of date, but take care of the legal particulars without... Do you have any particular religious affiliation that you would like the ceremony to be, or is this more of just a personal thing?
More of a personal thing, just a hand fasting and exchanging of rings?
Excellent. Yes, oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I am truly honored that you would come to me to help celebrate and, well, legally codify your love in this way. It's...
You're the only person I could think of.
I'm so happy for the both of you.
Aww.
And just big hug. And probably lifts him off the floor.
Windward 6 foot.
Okay, tries.
Yeah. Oh. Well, yeah. The weight of emotion for the scene here.
Yeah.
It's appropriate to be lifted off the ground.
And then probably because Kyle's not far behind, turns around. Right.
I'm not gonna say that didn't hurt, but it's okay.
No, I have something better for you.
Okay. All right, cool. I guess I can let that go then.
And she's just smiling, and the changes still haven't, after all this time. They don't know why they don't disappear. It's just so she's got like the elf ears and the little like tiefling tail going. How would you like to be my best person? I don't know what best bud up there.
Of course.
Technically, yeah. We're supposed to have like a best man or woman, but best person.
Yeah. Do I get to walk you down the aisle, or is that a parent-only thing?
How about my mom on one side and you on the other?
That sounds great. That is perfect.
Perfect. And I've got to invite everybody else, and oh god, I need to figure out, am I wearing a dress or am I wearing something else? Oh god, head dress. Why did... You can still perform elopements if we take you somewhere, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, just it's all a matter of filling out paperwork. And I would never say that the words that are spoken at a wedding are not, in and of themselves, important. The most important thing about a wedding is that the wedding's function is fulfilled to your satisfaction.
Looks up from where she's kind of head desking and can't really. Okay, we're doing a wedding.
You honeymoon in the place with the star sea.
Yeah, she figures out how to get everybody to the Star Sea at night, because that's just a really cool image.
You have to get some of your coworkers to help make sure the spell stays stable.
Details.
But now that the old men aren't in charge, the lab is able to pursue things, like, more fully than they used to be able to. Like your friend that was looking into basically finding a solution for people with autoimmune disorders to help, like, absorption rates of different minerals, is able to progress on that a lot, along with a lot of other really cool projects that were getting stalled because the old men didn't want to get old. I feel like most of them end up in prison somewhere after all the news comes out.
Yeah.
I got to imagine if there is not a rather vast government cover-up, the ripples of scandal go pretty wide.
The magical details are obscured.
I see.
But, like, the general shape of how many people Stanton was blackmailing and all that, that's...
Mhm.
They just kind of disappear, and Hess, you are informed via Xander that they have been taken care of and will no longer be a problem. And you don't question that.
Nope. Hess just wisely nods and starts marking off places they've been, and Angel hasn't.
Oh boy. We're on a new hunt.
Make sure you check out Branson, Missouri. It's really great.
Realities, not cities.
We'll definitely check. Thank you, Kyle. I would have forgotten.
It is a beautiful wedding. Windward, after the fall, have you tried or, like, had any contact with other fallen angels, or have you just avoided them?
In the course of their time amongst demons, there have been cause for brief conversations with those who remained loyal. A lot of it's mostly just been business. Windward's not exactly, like, up to date on the news or particularly well liked. I think, like, kind of comes with having, generally speaking, transformed into something other than what he was as an angel. And so, like, no, not directly, not in any meaningful way.
I feel like as time goes on, there are some who come to understand more of why you did what you did.
Yeah.
Just as time goes on and time changes. And there's one day when you're on a vacation with Kyle, decided to go somewhere nice. And you're at a restaurant and you look up and you see a face that you haven't seen in a while. You see Lucifer and it looks like she's out on a date with someone.
Cole.
Oh!
No.
Introduced by Kyle! Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's a brief moment of eye contact, which she doesn't draw attention to. In fact, she seems to be kind of, like, trying to keep the person she's talking to focused on you. It's someone with their back to you, but you still know who they are.
I know who Lucifer is dating? Or is on this date with?
Yeah. Someone that you and Kyle stood by for a very long time.
Oh,
You said
Michael!
Michael!
I mean, the enemies to lover arc.
That is beautiful.
I mean, the lovers to enemies to lovers.
She does kind of give you a link that says, told you you'd come around.
I think, like, Windward, yeah, that just sort of raises a glass and tips their head a little bit and wishes her well. I'm still a little bitter.
Valid.
at Michael, but I hope she's happy at least.
Yeah.
Got some ground to recover. And I suppose we can be gracious enough to hope that he makes it up someday, but there's time.
And I think one day you do get a letter. He doesn't deliver it himself. He has someone else deliver it, but you can tell it's from him apologizing. He knew it was wrong, what he asked you to do, and it's unexpected. He makes he gives you space. Makes no attempt to, get in touch beyond saying that he was wrong about so many things, and he could make excuses, but it would do nothing to fix the harm his actions caused.
Kyle.
What?
Have you ever thought about going back?
To where?
Back to where we came from. I would say home, but I suppose for a certain value of home.
Not particularly. Have you thought about going back?
You know, anytime I did, it was more about how I would like as not be unwelcome. So, I hadn't. But I suppose now I am.
Do you think we would be welcome this time around?
Well, Windward sort of hands the letter over.
Oh.
Well?
Honestly, I never expected that.
And there's a postscript from Lucifer apologizing for dragging Jophiel into the grudge match. That wasn't fair. She was being petty, and she realizes that.
Huh. Well, would you look at that? I never expected that from either of them.
No. Expected them to be tearing into one another until the end, but love conquers all, and I suppose...
I'm sure they're still tearing into each other.
You know...
Kyle has a one-track
I
fucking
wouldn't
mind.
be surprised. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Michael decided that he was saving himself for... You know.
Marriage!
The sort of tiresome bore he's always been, but...
The world did almost end.
Yeah?
Maybe it finally got him to get his head out of his ass.
Well, I would only go if you want to go.
Well, I would say that it bears consideration, and Windward takes the letter and puts it into the old puzzle box that used to contain all of the pieces for the Soul Seeker. This is... And they shut it. They've gotten a letter of apology. It's worth having, worth keeping safe. And they shut it, and they do up all of the latches and everything, and they look over at Kyle and say, I would say that there's time enough for that. Another time. It's a future problem, and we do have lots of present to enjoy.
You do indeed.
They can definitely wait.
Got a place that I can go where everything's okay. I've got a place that you can be right next to me. Let's go. Please hold on tightly. Baby, we're going down, 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 down.
Tempus Multae is a production of Pseudonym Social, changing reality one story at a time. It is an actual play podcast using Urban Shadow's 2E Quick Start Guide, and it's set once again in the town of Oak Ridge, Tennessee. I am your keeper and producer.
Hello everyone, it's Casey again. I'll be playing Cass Pravda, the Oracle Playbook.
My name is Zadkiel, or just Zad. In this game, I am going to be playing Windward Pudge, and they are using the Imp playbook.
Hi there, I'm Maria Perry. I'm playing Millie Elza, your local vampy vampire.
I am Blaze, and I'll be playing Jason Madison Coleman, the Aware.
Sup, y'all? I'm Fennec Foxfire. I will be playing Hess, playing from the Book of the Wizard.
Hi, I'm Glyza. I will be playing Kyle of the Tainted Playbook.
I am Ava Rogers. I will be playing Angel Day, the Sworn.
To get more information on this or any of our other shows, check out our website at pseudonymsocial.com.